Hey, welcome back to the Workbench here at Scale Models Midwest. David here as always. Hope you're having a great weekend. I have been away for a few weeks working on other items and also getting ready for the fall, Halloween, all that good stuff. Back down here at the Workbench for a few hours this afternoon and maybe a little bit later on this evening as well. I got a lot of stuff to show you. First of all, as you can see from the thumbnail, I went on a little bit of a shopping spree to pick up parts for the Hot Rod 64, 65 Chevelle that I want to kind of mimic what that is all about. It's not going to be 100% representation, but it's going to be as close as I possibly can get. I'm not going to do the engine bay tin. I want to have the exposed frame rails and what have you, the tubing. So I'm going to have that all painted red just like the kit or the actual car is. I am close to getting that stuff buttoned up and ready to prime. As you can see, I do have some primer on already while I was working on the trunk area. I'm going to redo the underside of the trunk a little bit better, and then once I have that reprimed and sanded, I'll be ready to start putting down the color coats. I am going to be using lacquer. I'll be, for now, going to use this gloss silver lacquer that I will thin out, and then I'll also be using this gloss black as well. Actually, this is NATO black I'm going to use for the tires and wheels, or just tires. Got some chrome for the wheels, and then I've got this gloss black that I'll be using for the black part of the car. So still have to work on getting the stripes. As you can see, the burgundy, the orange, and the yellow. So got that going for us. But anyhow, let me show you what I've got so far. So for starters, I've already shown you the Iceman Collections blown big block Chevy, and it's got the Dominator carbs on it, very much like what he has there on that kit. It includes the scoop as well. I like that, and I'm going to paint the inside of that once it's all ready to go. A lot of great detail on this. See if I can pull that back out and show you. Just to recap, this is the engine, which I'll hopefully be priming today, and then the remainder of the 3D printed tree is here. As soon as I get those taken off, I'll be painting them in their respective cues of chrome, maybe some for the headers, different offset color, and then of course NATO black for the belt, and kind of go from there. But otherwise, that's what you got there. Great 3D detail, and can't wait to have this get put together. Again, I was off for the past couple weeks working on a lot of other items, but we're back into the swing of things. Also went to my local hobby store and picked up some compression fittings. These are the number 5 compression fittings, which they say are supposed to fit the number 5 braided line, which I picked up as well. So got that going for us. I'll be using that for the engine bay and for everything else. Then of course, I went on ahead and put a nice little shopping cart full of stuff from over at Model Car Videos. There's their decal they sent to me. So I kind of give a shout out to Mr. Inman over there at Model Cars Video. And also for MCV Products, go check them out. Excellent 3D printed parts. I'm going to show you here what we've got. The steering wheel, I'm going to try and get to that picture of the interior. Eventually I'll get to it. My computer's been a little slow this afternoon. There we go. So right there, you see the steering wheel, right? 4-spoke Grant GT wheel probably, and then I got these from modelcarvideos.net or MCV Products, and I think one of these two right here will do the trick. The other ones will definitely find a place in future builds, but I think one of those two. I'll take those out, see which one looks better, and apply it from there. Again, not going to be 100%, but it's going to be a close match to this. Also, hadn't remembered this is an automatic Chevelle. So I do have from Iceman, I've got that B&M shifter, and it looks very much like that. So I'm looking forward to getting that painted up, dialed in. I did get a tachometer, but I don't think this one has one. So this will go into a future build, but again, I couldn't resist. I hit buy. I had some fuel filters, fuel pumps, so went to pick those up as well. Again, these are all from MCV Products. Also have a switch panel, which I don't see a switch panel in the interior of this car, but I like switch panels in some of my race cars, so I went on ahead. I want to see what this one would look like. Take it out of the baggie and you'll see. Pretty cool too that these baggies you can keep afterwards to store parts in, so that's always a plus. Upcycle. Here we go. All right, so little switch panel right here. Nice little 3D detail. Hopefully you can see that through the lens. Put that in there. Also had a couple of ignition boxes. I think I saw one in this build, so that's also going to go in there. Those are the ignition boxes. I don't want to take those out of the kit because if I take those out of the baggie, I'll probably lose them on the carpet. And then finally, I should have purchased two of these because in the trunk they have 2 batteries. So I'm probably going to go right back and purchase another one. This also comes with the connectors as well. That's going to be really cool once I get those wired up. I think I'll get a second one, but otherwise the kit that I've been scavenging parts off of, it comes with 2 batteries, so I'll be using that. And then of course finally I've got the racing harness. What's cool is it also has 3D printed buckles, so I'm looking forward to putting that together finally. And then Mr. Inman also sent me some free carburetors, so I've got a pack of, looks like 4 of them, so that'll come in handy for future kit builds. Thank you very much, Mr. Inman. And then finally, this is the piece de resistance besides the engine. I wanted to get the tires and rims that looked like those, and Mr. Inman had them. Traeger Super Strict drag set, 15x5 and 15x16. That's what they look like on the package. And I've already gotten them off of the 3D printed tree, but here's what it looks like up close. Kind of mocked it up. Just sitting there. I think it looks great. I can't wait to see these once I have the NATO black on the tires and my chrome on the rims, wheels, what have you. And it's going to start taking shape here very, very soon. But I want to kind of get this done before the end of December. This is part of Jason's group build over at Blue Ox Model Shop. This was the group street machine build that's going on through the end of December of this year. So I want to try and get that in before then. But this is a kit that's really taken on a life of its own. I have liked this Chevelle ever since I saw it in Hot Rod Magazine and Carcraft and Hot Rodder, or Popular Hot Rodding, years ago, and I've long wanted to build it. I got a neighbor across the street that owns a 64 Malibu convertible with the 6, and I like it. I wish I could own it, but it's a beautiful car. I like the shapes, just the right size. So I'm going to build this car and get that done hopefully by the end of the year. I've got a couple other ones I've got to build, but I've got a couple of other kits to show you. This is great, some backstory behind them as well. So let me move this guy out of the way real quick and go from there. So there was a kit announced by Moebius that I looked at and I go, you know, I'm not normally a fan of this car, but the fact that it's a pro touring car, I looked at it and I said, you know what, I need to buy it. So I did. I bought one kit, and I'm going to put it together box stock just to see how it goes together. This guy right here. So I'm crazy about this Mercury. This is a way cool Pro Touring Comet. Moebius is getting some mileage out of this mold. They've got this as a drag racer, I think an AFX. They also have it as a stock Mercury Comet. So to put it as a Pro Touring, I hope this is not the last Pro Touring style car that we see from Moebius or from anybody. I just think it looks great. There are so many aftermarket companies out there like Geronimo Works putting out excellent tire and wheel combos that could really go great with this kit. But when you look at this from the side panel, that's what it'll look like once it's built. I don't know what color I would paint it, but I did tell my daughter I'll paint whatever color she chooses. She hasn't chosen one yet. But again, this is just going to be a box stock build. And then once I see how it looks when it's put together, I will most likely buy a few more kits for the shelf and then build one with wiring, plumbing, and what have you. And maybe have that one go to a couple of model car shows. So I think this is a sharp kit. I've already seen Arter from Arterake. He's on YouTube as well, where he has shown off this kit and talking about how he's going to do the Arterake, which is basically jacking up the rear a bit, make the low as front as you can go front end. So go check him out. So kind of leads me to this one, and then I'm going to get going and start working on the kits. But I got in touch, well, a guy got in touch with me, Doane. He had emailed me, and we struck up a really cool conversation. Find out that he comes to Iowa every now and then. He has family in Iowa, and really not that far away from me. And he knew that I was a big fan of T-Birds, especially the Pro Stock T-Birds of the 80s, and especially this guy, Matt and Debbie Hayes Pro Street Thunderbird. I think that's one of the most beautiful cars ever built. It came from my generation, if you will, and if you haven't seen it, go check out Luka Cee's channel. He's actually got a couple videos up right now where he not only talks about this guy, and he talks with Matt Hay about this, but he also talks about Rick Dauberton's J2000, which Matt and Debbie Hay also own. That's this guy right here. That is another car that I thought was fantastic in its day, and it still is. And of course, one of my all-time favorites, I don't know where it's at, but Scott Sullivan's Cheese Whiz 55 Chevy right there. Okay, I don't want to try and get too close with the camera. It's not doing what I want it to do. But that one, the Cheese Whiz, I also know Troy Trepanier, he had a 60 or a 59 Chevy that he painted a seafoam green. Those were the cars that defined my youth, if you will. Those are the ones I loved. But I always had the biggest soft spot for this guy. And it ticked all the right boxes. A big fan of that era Thunderbird. And when Matt and Debbie Hay put that one together, it was fantastic. The story behind it, it's great. Go check it out. He had at one time sold it, but bought it back and rebuilt it to better than new. So go check it out. Again, Luka Cee's channel. But talking with Doane, I didn't know that he knew not only Luka Cee, but he knew Matt and Debbie, because it just came up in conversation because he wanted to send me some stuff, and he said that way he knew it would get built. So I'm like, sure, you know, send me. He was talking about some kits. Well, he sent me kits that just blew my mind when I got them. I've had them here, just been kind of geeking out over them. A good while back, I built this guy. This is MPC's California Sunshine pickup truck, and if you look carefully, I think round 2 or one of the other ones, right there, there we go. Scott Sullivan saying, yeah, how you know? Anyhow, this is being re-released in the, I think, BRE racing livery. So coming out there, you might want to check it out. Like I wrote impulsive on the box. I like it, and I'm going to check real quick just to make sure. I looked at the decals before. The ones I had on mine didn't fare too well. Let's see. Did they? Oh, they look like they fared a lot better than mine. So I will most likely put some clear over it and wire this one up, paint it that white like it is. These were really cool looking mini trucks in the day, true mini trucks. And yeah, I was blown away when I saw this one. But as I kept going through the box, my daughter and I, you know, I told her, I said, let's look at what we've got. And then I think my Christmas came early, if you will, because he sent me not just one of these guys. This is the Frank Iaconio Budweiser Motorcraft Pro Stock T-Bird complete kits. These things have all their parts that I know of so far. And I also have the Frank Iaconio Camaro body from when I built it decades ago. I finally found it in a box. The chassis is long gone to history. Don't know where it went. But man, T-Bird, I'm stoked. He didn't just send me one. He sent me Ricky Smith's Pro Stock Thunderbird. Same kind of year, body style, I think like 84, 85. Right there. Complete kit. Okay. And then sent me a third one. Bob Glidden's Pro Stock Thunderbird. From the same era. The Chief Auto Parts sponsorship. Alright. And that is just way cool. I was blown away by Dan's generosity. He sent me these kits. I was offering to pay at the very least for shipping, and he goes, no, take my daughter out to Pizza Ranch, which is right up the street. He knows of the place. And so Dan, I did. I took her out to Pizza Ranch. Chelsea thanks you very much. She enjoyed herself rather well. I do have parts of the old Bob Glidden Motorcraft Thunderbird, but it's not a complete kit. The tires and wheels are missing from it, and I can always get that, as you can see here, from MCV Products. But yeah, I was blown away by it. So it's like I've got quite a few projects to go into the fall season, and hopefully to get a couple of them built before the end of the year. I'm going to be working on the Chevelle, this one here, off and on throughout the rest of the year. And I've got to go down here in the middle of November with my brother. We're going down to my mom's property and try and get that place cleaned up a little bit more while we wait for the courts to take care of the probate stuff. Hopefully we can get that stuff cleaned up before too long, and then when things are done, we can get the property sold and get that chapter taken care of for us. But in the meantime, I've got kits to work on. I've got a kind of a slump buster kit that I'm going to put together fairly quickly. Again, a box stock build. I was over at Hobby Lobby this week. They had 40% off sale, so I figured, why not? I'll go and check it out. I went on ahead and picked up this 88 Dodge Daytona Shell BC. Chris over at HPI Guys has built this kit already. I like it. I had a former girlfriend that owned one, and I liked it. It's in nice shape. You can build it 2-in-1. I built one way back in the 80s. I built that V8 version, but I'm going to do the stock version this time. And as far as the color, I'm going to try something different. I picked up Credex Wicked Colors. This is called, I think it's called Wicked Red. Yep, Wicked Red. So I'm going to paint the Shelby Z that color. It said it has to be used with some reducer, so I went ahead and picked that up. Once I've got the car prepped, you know, I will get that primed, and then I will shoot those colors with the airbrush. That's going to be something I start working on today. In the meantime, starting Monday this week, I hope to get down here at least an hour or so a day to start working on all these kits. So I got work cut out ahead of me. So with that, I'm going to let you go so I can get started on at least this kit here. In the meantime, I hope that you are continuing to build the cool kits yourself. Thanks for checking out this channel. Share it with others. Please like and subscribe, and go from there. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll catch you in the next video.